What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video I am decorating an apartment in Simmarysims. So for this one I am not building in the New World Mount Kamarebi. I've done a couple builds over there and I figured it was time to kind of just move away from it for a little bit and do something else. And since I have not been playing around with the new platform tool in apartments just yet, I was desperately wanting to try that out because if you didn't know, yes, you can use the platform tool in apartments. Though it is a little bit glitchy here and there, I was definitely having some issues with it for this apartment as well. It was a lot of fiddling around, it was a lot of trial and error, which I did not record everything, but in the end it worked and I made a split level apartment here in Simmarysims. The address of this apartment is 131021 Chic Street. It's up in the fashion district, I want to say. I'm always really bad with districts in Simmarysims, like I never know which one is which, but judging by the address, I'm pretty sure it's the fashion district. I'm really bad with neighborhood names overall, by the way. That goes for pretty much every world that we have. I always know the name of the world, but I never know the name of the actual neighborhoods, which is really stupid. But anyway, I'm pretty sure this one is in the fashion district. Though that said, you can't really download this apartment because one thing that's a little bit annoying about the platform tool in apartments is you can't upload the apartment as a whole to the gallery, which that is something that you can't really do anyway, which I don't understand why that is so difficult to do. But usually what I do is I delete a couple of walls and drag them back together so that the whole apartment kind of is one room, and then I can upload it as one room to the gallery so you can download the whole thing. But with platforms, I can't do that because every platform, the game sees every single platform as a separate room, and there is no way for me to connect them to each other to make it all be one room, basically. So since there is no way to do that, this apartment sadly is not up on the gallery for you to download, though the floor plan is not too complicated, so I'll make sure to take a picture or take a screenshot of the actual floor plan so you can go ahead and try to recreate it if you want to. Otherwise, this is just a video for you to watch and sadly not a build for you to download, which I'm sorry, but there is nothing I can really do about it. But yeah, I really like the way that this apartment came out, even though there was a lot of glitches with the platforms and stuff. When I got it to work, I don't know, I really like the result of it. I really like the vibe of this apartment. As you can see, it's kind of like a studio apartment. Everything is in one room, except for the bathroom, of course. But it doesn't really feel like that because there is a whole lot of split levels going on. So it still kind of feels very much separate. As you can see, that little area that is higher up with the staircase behind the living room area right here is going to be the bedroom. And it kind of feels like a separate room, even though it's not. It's just a little bit higher up on a higher platform. And it kind of gives that like lofty look and feel to the apartment. It's not a loft by any means, but still I think it's really unique and something different, and definitely not something that we have been able to do before in the game, which of course not because the platform tool is brand new. But it is really fun to create new floor plans this way. I always struggle a little bit with floor plans for apartments. Like, I usually have like one floor plan for each apartment figured out, except for the very large multiple story ones, because I always avoid those apartments. I'm kind of intimidated by them. I don't like them. They're way too big. But for the smaller apartments, I have at least one floor plan that works, and I always struggle figuring out a new one. I don't know, I'm just not that great with floor plans. I think it's quite challenging and difficult. Though now that we have the floor plan or the platform tool, I think it's a lot of fun. It's just something different. And so I did have a lot of fun figuring out the floor plan for this apartment as well. As you can see, the actual living space in this apartment is quite narrow. There is this step down hallway area with a closet and the washing machines. And then you step up to the living area, which is also a study area, and also the dining area. So that whole place is a little bit narrow, which is what I like about it. Like, the apartment definitely feels a little bit smaller this way, and that is exactly what I wanted to achieve. Like, I wanted this apartment to feel a little bit cramped, a little bit small, but still pretty nice, like pretty luxurious in its own way. I was thinking that this apartment was for a single sim, and as I was decorating this apartment, I really did not have a storyline in mind or a specific sim in mind. All I wanted to do was just play around with the platform tool in an apartment, basically. So I sat down and did that, and this is the apartment that I came up with. But as I was decorating it, of course, I was trying to think of a certain sim or a personality at least, but I couldn't really come up with anything specific. I was thinking that this sim is definitely a person that works from home. They're probably their own boss. And they spend a lot of time at home because it's also their office or their workspace, which is why I gave them a dedicated office area as well, with a computer and stuff. And yeah, I was thinking that this sim probably works from home, and maybe they are like an influencer of some sort. Maybe they are someone that makes videos, that makes lifestyle videos or vlogs or something. So I also placed down a camera, a decorative camera, but a camera nonetheless, on the little desk. And yeah, so I was kind of inspired by like those New York vloggers that I watch from time to time, which I think is a lot of fun. So I was just thinking that this sim is just a sim that lives alone in the big city. They're young. This is their first apartment that, or maybe not their first, but like the first apartment that they are living in by themselves without roommates. So they're probably just like living in the big city, making videos, making lifestyle videos and vlogs and things like that. And maybe they're also a writer. Maybe they like to write books or record podcasts or something like that. So that is kind of what I was imagining for the personality for the sim that's living here. So nothing too complicated or very detailed, but that is definitely the vibe that this apartment was giving me. So that is what I went with. And here you can see I'm decorating the tiny little kitchen area. What I do like about this kitchen is it is pretty small, but I like how the island counters are kind of connected to the kitchen from a level below, if that makes any sense. Like the kitchen or the island counters are on a different level. They're a step down from the actual kitchen, but they still kind of feel connected to the kitchen because they're open. So they kind of count as, or it looks like they're still like counter space for the kitchen as well, even though they're a level down, if it makes any sense. I'm always really bad at explaining this type of thing, but I hope it makes sense what I'm saying. I just like that the island counters, even though they're a step down from the actual kitchen, they still feel like part of the kitchen. And I think that is really unique and fun, and definitely something that we could not do before. So I was having a lot of fun with the overall vibe of this apartment because of all the platforms. I was struggling a little bit with the color scheme though. It is quite dark. I used a lot of darker wood tones for this apartment, though I tried to lighten it up a little bit. So here and there, I also used lighter wood tones. For example, the bar stools and the bookcase that you can see right here, I chose to go for a lighter wood tone for those to just make it all a little bit lighter and a little bit less matchy-matchy as well. Because if I were to use darker wood tones for literally everything, then everything would feel very matchy-matchy and not all that realistic. Even though I was thinking that this sim, they have a little bit of money to spend, like they can afford this pretty nice and modern apartment to live in all by themselves. So yeah, they do have some money to spend, but still, I did not want it to be too luxurious and matchy-matchy and stuff. So that is why I decided to change up the swatches for the wood tones here and there. I think that I changed up the swatch for the TV unit as well. I'm using that little TV cabinet from Eco Lifestyle. And I'm pretty sure that I changed the swatch of that as well. But yeah, as you can probably see, I was also placing a lot of plants everywhere. I was thinking that this sim is really into plants, so I placed down a lot of them and also used a lot of hanging plants from Nifty Knitting because, well, I had the space for it and I had the perfect little places for it as well, so I decided to place down a couple of those. But here I'm moving on to the quote-unquote bedroom. It's not a room. Well, technically the game thinks it is, but I mean, it's not closed off by walls or a door or anything, so technically it's a studio apartment. But this is the sleeping area, and in the beginning I was thinking that I wanted to place the bed against the wall, but then I realized I don't have to do that. I definitely have the space to make this bed accessible for 2 Sims. So if you want to recreate this apartment and you want to have 2 Sims sleeping in this bed, then you definitely can do so. Because I decided to place it down this way. But I really like the bed unit or makeshift headboard kind of that I created for this bedroom or sleeping area. I don't really know what to call it. I used a couple of base game cabinets and then I placed a few shelves on top of it, basically. So it kind of feels like a built-in TV or a built-in bed headboard situation kind of thing. And I really like that. It kind of gives me IKEA vibes, and that is definitely what I was trying to go for as well. And I really, really love this painting above the bed. It's from City Living. And since I have been doing a lot of Japan-inspired builds lately in Mount Komarebi, I kind of rediscovered that painting, if that makes sense. Like, I never really use it, but for those types of houses that I have been building, that painting is perfect, and I love the swatch of it. The colors on it are so pretty. So I'm really happy that I kind of just rediscovered that painting, and I've been using it in a few of my builds now, and I really like it. It's quirky and pretty and beautiful, and I love it. So yeah, but I placed down a dresser in here as well with a rack over it, a clothing rack over it, to just create a little bit of extra storage space in that sense. And I placed down a nice dresser. Or a mirror, I mean. I love this mirror. Oops, the doorbell. My neighbor's doorbell just rang. You could probably hear that. It was really loud, I'm sorry. Yeah, I placed down that mirror and kind of just pretended that it's leaning against the wall. Which I really like. I like the lights on it. And I also just placed down some poofs and I added some extra paintings on the wall to make it look a little bit more nicely decorated. I like that this apartment also has a little bit of a industrial vibe to it, if that makes any sense. Like, it's not all that industrial, but I don't know. I just really like that exposed brick that I have on the wall. And it's kind of industrial in a way, like, if you know what I mean. So I was definitely also really happy with that light that I placed on the wall. I never use it, but I think it's so beautiful. I should use it more often. Like, I really like it, especially in this space. And you can see that I kind of closed off the sleeping area from the living area with a curtain that your Sims obviously can't use. It's purely decorative, but I was thinking that at night they can kind of just close off or close the curtain and have the bed area or like the bedroom kind of feel more separate and just a little bit more cozy and closed off. So I really like that decorative curtain. It just gives the whole area a little bit, makes it look a little bit more interesting in that sense. And here, this is just the tiny little bathroom. I can't stop using that new shower that we got with Snowy Escape. I think that shower is really, really pretty, and I think I'll be overusing it, just like I have been overusing the shower that comes with University. I just love those open showers. There's so much that you can do with it. But anyway, that is already it for this build. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Sadly, you can't download this off the gallery, but I will make sure to add a few screenshots of the floor plan so you can try and recreate it if you want to. You can, however, follow me on Instagram and on Twitter if you'd like. My username on there is Simmarysims. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next build. Bye!